Hello, everyone, and welcome back for another episode of TFT Study Hall with your hosts. My name is Frodan.
And I'm Dishsoap.
And today is December 28th, 2024, or 29th by the time this releases. And this is the episode on the end of the year patch. It's a little bit after Christmas, right before New Year's. Dishsoap, how's your holiday? How was Macao and your whole trip been the past couple of weeks?
I mean, it was kind of crazy. I was away from home for like 2 weeks. Don't usually do that. I guess I've done that like when I went to Saudi Arabia this year. So I guess I've done that twice this year. But I don't know. It's still just kind of weird leaving home. I don't really do that much. Being in a different country. Never really been to like East Asia before ever. So definitely some new things to see there. Hung out with friends, saw the TFT people. Yeah, I don't know.
What was your favorite story or moment traveling with TFT friends? Just to like get to know, because you were hanging out with Kurum and Kiting is Hard, Solus, and a few other people, right?
I mean, it's probably just everything that happened with gambling, but I mean that's like, I feel like people don't really want to hear about that. But okay, one thing that like did happen was, I don't know, like a bunch of us actually ended up going to Japan in like separate groups. I don't know, and then like all you have to know is that at some point like there was like 12 of us in a mall, and like most of them like hadn't eaten yet, or no, most of them had eaten, and then like we didn't eat yet. We being me, Milk, Solus, and Kurum, we didn't eat yet, so we were gonna like go find someplace quick to eat for like 30 minutes, and they were like just gonna like wait for us, and then we're gonna do something else together. So we just walk into this place because it looks cool. Like, don't read the menu, don't translate anything. We just point to like the most expensive thing on there, and it turns out we pointed to like a 6-course meal that took like 2 hours to finish. And and they served like two like giant things of like broth and stuff. I didn't even know what the meat was in there. Kurum said it was like chicken cartilage. I didn't eat it, thinking it was gross, but no, it was just like pork belly that was delicious. But I didn't eat it until like it was all gone, because this Kurum guy said it was like bro, who was eating chicken cartilage and like the soup or whatever. And then like we ate raw horse meat, and
wow,
Solus spit it out. I don't know. It was we just got lost basically.
you guys like ordered like a full on like omakase experience. I like it.
Pretty much.
Nice.
And then we basically just abandoned everyone else at the mall, and then
who were waiting for you.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's funny. Well, today we got a full course menu of topics to talk about, so let's catch up about some TFT. So let's talk a little bit about the state of the metagame. And right now, it seems like the meta actually has a lot of balance to it. I think there are some outliers of things that are probably like over the line. I think Chem Baron at the very top makes a lot of sense. We've talked about this actually a couple episodes ago. Chem Baron was already really good, and they buffed it. We predicted it to be super broken. Guess what? That's exactly what happened. I think everyone understands +1 Chem Baron is insane. The question is, how good is Chem Baron without the emblem? I think there's some discussions about, they think that this composition, even if you open up something like War for the Undercity, if you're not getting the emblem, it's actually not really that strong in a lot of players' mind. Right? It's not that consistent.
I feel like if you're not that greedy, it's still pretty good. Like, I don't know. Like, if you're cashing out a 400 on 1 life, it's a little sus. But like, if you're cashing out a 300 on like 3 lives, I'm pretty sure it's fine. Like without emblem, I don't know. Like, I'm pretty sure you can still like easily top 4 and like even win. I know 400 is definitely enough to win. If you can get 400 on 2 lives, which is kind of harder without emblem, like you could easily win. But I mean, the hard part is getting over like 2 lives, because like 1 life you can like lose the shit before all like the 5 costs come online. But like once you get something like a Civica 2 or like a Rumble 2 or something, it's actually pretty hard to lose even with like a 400.
Okay, I have a question. Are you always holding Smeech and Ready, like no matter what, on stage 1? They are pretty expensive to hold sometimes. Are you holding it no matter what?
On stage 1, yeah. It's they're the thing is, they're actually like fine units. But you always hold them in like because on stage 1, that's like before the augment, and then like if you just hit gold Chem Baron emblem, it's like the game is like literally already over. I mean, Ready especially is a good unit. Smeech is not that good, but like I feel like not being able to hold 3 gold is not that big of a deal. So like I am always holding them, but I'm not like I usually end up selling them on like fuck. Sorry, I'm trying not to cough. I'm usually Fuck. Well, 1
Go
second.
go for it. Go for it. Go for it.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I'm usually selling them on like 2-1 if I don't hit, because I'm not trying to play no emblem Baron late.
Same. I sold it once or twice, and my chat goes crazy, and I'm like, well, I have no cinch, and these are like really valuable pairs that I want to hold, so I'm willing to, but it definitely is painful as well.
Yeah.
Elsewhere, go for it.
I mean, just the one thing I don't like about Baron. I mean, this is like by design, so it's not like like they're probably not going to change it, but like I don't like how you like have to stay in Baron. I feel like
Yeah.
part of the cool parts about like all the cash out traits is like the pivots you have to do.
The pivoting, man, the
Yeah.
transition. It's
So
like,
like
oh my god, can I do it all in one turn? Now you're just like, well,
like
I just remove my items, and I guess I just equip that.
like the thing is, if the trait was designed like where you could make a pivot, like you could easily cash like a 200 or even a 100 from like a delayed Baron start without emblem and feel pretty good about it. The way it's designed now, it's like you don't feel good about that, and then you just want it like late game. You're just playing a Smeech, zero item Smeech, zero item Singed on your board because it just gives your team 1,000 HP. Like, yeah, we did it.
Yeah. I
I
was
don't know.
talking to Mort Dog about this because Mort was talking about like how Baron hasn't been so smooth for him, and I think the thing they've identified was whether or not you're supposed to stay in Baron. I'm like, you're not supposed to really drop any Barons because you just get so much. You just look, you hover over the left side counter. It shows you have 900, 1100, 1200 extra HP from skipping the not just the cash outs that lead to it, but also the ones after that. That you stack more and more HP and becomes really ridiculous. So this Baron trade is really out of hand. I'm pretty sure everyone is can't wait for it to get nerfed. But yeah, to your point, I kind of wish they would give us a reason to play other things besides Barons and like one dominate or something.
Okay, so like you say that, and like that's like true for like the entire high elo community. But I don't even like I'm kind of like terrified they're not going to change it because I'm pretty sure the perception of this trait, like outside of high
Like
elo, is
everyone
that
thinks it
it's like
sucks.
yeah, it's not, it's so like they don't think it's good. I don't get it, man. And if they don't nerf this trait again, like I feel like they're just clueless. But I mean, I just hope it gets nerfed.
I did one of your Baron games as a YouTube video,
Oh really?
and it got a lot of views. But everyone just talks about how Baron is bad, and you're just high
Yeah.
rolling, and you're just lucky. Like if you didn't get this at the exact time, people have lost. And I'm like, I don't know how to really, I don't know really how to follow up with that because I think there is a perception that Baron is not that strong. Maybe because the cash outs don't exactly translate to a lot of people's minds as being very strong. And also there's some unintuitive things. So for example, there's some items that they say you should put on like Smeech or Savika or Rennie, but reality you should actually put it on Silco. And I think some people don't understand that. So that might actually be why there's a little bit of mismatch. And there's also some bad cash outs just straight up sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, this one memory or like this one game like sticks out of my mind like exclusively. Like it was a few days ago. I'm cashing out like a foreigner cash out on like 17 HP. I hit like the entire board, by the way, like Silco 2, Mundo 2, Civica. I got a Baron emblem, and like there's like probably like 10 people in my chat being like "Rip F, nice try,
Oh,
buddy, go
seven.
next." Like, and then I won 20 the next 20 rounds in a row. And yeah, I just don't get it. Like what is going wrong in these guys' games? So
Well, either way, if you haven't got the memo, 400 is more than enough to win a lot of scenarios. 300 can definitely win, especially if you are pretty experienced in the line. And PSA, don't drop your Baron.
like 500 cash, you don't even
Yeah,
have to try
you
anymore.
wouldn't 100%.
Yeah.
500 is about like what do you want to chase as your like 3-star 4 cost or like 5 cost level of cash outs. Okay, and the rest of the S tier, we have some other things that seem pretty unfair. People are complaining a lot about Artifact Nocturne, specifically anything that gives them range extension. And then that kind of combines with the next comp. The next comp that we have is Six Automata, which is sort of like kind of adjacent to that composition, but it's still technically a little different, especially if you don't have the artifact. But it just seems like people believe that this core is strong. And if you get the range on Nocturne, it's really good. I guess the question is, how good is just like opening up a single, let's say like you open up a single Fishbones? Is that good enough to just like hard commit to Nocturne, or should you still be open to other things that are also good with some of those artifacts?
I mean, it's definitely good enough to hard commit Nocturne, but I don't know if you hit like a triple Trish shop and you have like a Ginsu or something, I'm down. Uh, but probably just hard force Nocturne, honestly. Still,
Okay, okay. And then over in the A tier, we have Six Automata got a lot of hype. I think people were really excited about Six Automata Mel because I believe her conduit, all those instances of damages, actually triggers the automata. So it's actually very flashy. She does a lot of crazy burst. And then I played it myself, and I've never won a game with it. I think I got in two, two,
wait,
two, two.
oh,
So
I mean that's pretty good.
yeah,
I
it is
think
pretty good. But I've never won with it, and everyone kept saying it's Exodia. Am I doing something wrong, man?
uh okay. I don't know if you want to hear this answer, but I think I've like won 4 games with that. Like I think I've won with that. Uh,
Okay. I mean, a part of it could just be that other people are playing also insanely cat boards, but
yeah, probably.
it is really good. I was just like, man, I keep thinking everyone keeps telling me this is like the Exodia, and I just like I've never like won with it, but it could be something else that I'm missing. I mean, I guess it's like if you have Automata, you also want two other items on her, right? But then
Yeah,
what happens if they choose between Mel and Malzahar, and then let's say you have like a 3-star Kog'Maw? Is there like a priority there?
I think Mel is like first prio. It depends on like if you're real in Cog, it's probably Cog second. But if you're just like fast 9, you have like a 2-star Cog, 1-star Mal's, and if you like 2-star Cog, 1-star Mal's, but you have like Visionary, it's like always a Mal's. If you're like not playing Visionary, you're playing some other trash, it's probably Cog.
Okay.
Uh, but yeah, I don't know.
All right. That makes sense
It's
to me.
been really good for me when I've hit it. I might be outing myself as a high roller, but I've
Well,
actually
I
hit that
mean,
quite a few times.
one of the two of those games was like Chem Bear, and I'm never beating that anyways.
Oh yeah, true, true,
But
true.
I do feel strange that I've never won with it, despite everyone talking about how amazing it is. All right, in the A tier, we have a little bit of movement. The first thing I think people might notice, by the way, is that family has kind of moved into the very bottom, and it was kind of something that moved. It was originally at the S tier, and then the B patch came out, and it's just been slowly moving further and further down. Why is that in your perspective?
Oh, I just like personally, I think this comp is worse than A tier and like worse than a lot of the B tier comps, in my opinion. Just because, like, I don't know, I feel like most strong boards can just deal like can easily burst Violet down and like are not worried about and she just doesn't do enough damage to them. It's just easy as that. I just don't think she's very good against strong boards. But I don't know. There are like some Emblem Exodia setups. If you get 5 family early, that's still insane. If you get like the trench coat into 4-star, that's still very, very good. But like after Ultimate Hero, like can't be forced anymore. It's like that was like a really big hit to the comp, I think. Um and yeah, if you can't hit like you also gotta like need to hit on tempo and like fast 9 for like the Vi Civica stuff as well. And it's like harder to go fast 9 because you're gonna start to lose rounds in stage 4 and stage 5 that you wouldn't lose before. I mean, it just got a big nerf, and I feel like it's pretty easy to play around, and it's just pretty like the Violet's just easy to kill.
Yeah, that's my experience as well. I've only played a handful of games of it, like 3 games, and 2 of them was with crazy setups, exactly what you described, family emblems, trench coat, and when I was like, "Oh, Baby Fame is good." And then one game where I thought the spot was good and I hit everything and I just like couldn't do anything. It's just like I wouldn't win any fights on stage 4, which is really crucial for the dual comps to try to pad your HP to bleed out to the top 4 because you inevitably get scaled or outscaled rather. So I definitely know exactly what you're talking about.
For what it's worth, like it's an A tier because of like the average placement, but that's legit the only reason.
Yeah, the
Um,
stats are good enough to justify that it's still a solid comp, but our experiences are not lining up with that.
yeah, and the thing is, like, I'm pretty sure like diamond and below, it's still like amazing,
Sure.
but yeah, I just don't see it do that well in my games.
All right. So then, what is your favorite comp in the A tier out of all of them? I'll go through the Renata, Emissaries, Black Rose, Academy, Sentinels, Enforcers and Conquerors and Rebels.
I probably play. I mean, this is my bread and butter. I play like 3 comps. Like, okay, honestly, I play 2 comps like 80% of the time. I was about to say like I play like I was about to say 3 comps and include Sentinels, but no, I literally just 80% of the time I'm playing Silco or Emissaries. It's probably like 70%. I play a lot of trash, but like 70% of the time it's just Black Rose Silco and like Emissary Corki.
Okay, what
Um,
is the number one thing people are doing wrong with Black Rose Soko? Because believe it or
hmm.
not, there's actually like China, for example, thinks Black Rose sucks. They'd actually try to avoid it. So, what do you think people are doing wrong with Black Rose?
Oh, I mean, like like it's not even Black Rose. It's just like Soko plus good frontline. If you get to like 4 Dom with like more duo carry, it's pretty good. It abuses bronze for life. I think the item like his item slams can end up like win streaking playing around like Swain backline or like Ziggs too early, and I feel like it has a lot of ways to cap it really high with 5 costs. Um, I mean I just like it because I feel like it's the best way to play from like the flexible AP starts and cap out really high. Because the thing is, like with Sentinels, you only feel good from playing it from like a Sentinel opener, and I feel like you need like a mix of AD and AP items, and like with Black Rose, you legit just need Soko items and frontline items.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I think people like playing Soko mainly from like what you said. It feels like you don't need a condition, right? All the other things we described feels like with Rebels, you really want the Rebel emblem, and also to cap out with Jinx. With Conquers, it feels like you really want to at least have that emblem and then snowball. Like emblem's not even enough a lot of times. You have to actually have like a tempo spot to be able to snowball that. And then things with like emissaries are like really expensive, right? You're just looking at like how pricey everything is. You're playing on 4 costs. You're playing on some of the most contested 4 costs in the game. So Soko feels like an easier thing to latch onto. But it's surprising to me because if you look at China, they were saying how that Black Rose is doing really badly in tournaments. A lot of top players don't like it. So I think it's a really interesting deviation from the West and China at the moment.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see like what beats it and what they're prioritizing. I will say like when I do the best, it's like it's like when you can play around Mord. I think maybe that's like the difference. Um, I
If
mean,
you
it's
never hit more
definitely.
than, what do you do though?
Oh, I mean, like, I mean, don't have to, like, I don't know. Like, your sponge has to be good enough at 8 where you can go 9 for Mord. Like, I don't know.
I
It's not
see.
like
I
a
see.
or like
Okay,
I
well,
don't know.
I
Like
can paint you a picture.
maybe playing this comp from Blue Streak no Econ Augment's not very good.
Sure, I can. I think that's most comps actually in the meta, which is actually a symptom. That's actually a symptom of a more balanced meta. If you're playing from loose streak and behind a bad spot, you're going to do poorly. But then let me ask you this: so, if you're in a spot where you're doing really well, you're like 90 HP, you've been mostly streaking, you feel pretty rich, you roll down on 4-2, 4-1, somewhere in that interval, and you're kind of stuck in this limbo where you're on a bunch of pairs, you can't go to 9. I feel like that's where a lot of Black Rose players struggle. They're like their front line, they know their front line is not good enough. Maybe they hit Soko 2, maybe they don't. Maybe they're playing around Ziggs 2, maybe they're not. But they feel like they can't get to 9 without losing a bunch of rounds. And if they do get to 9, it's going to be the situation when they get to 9, it's like 10, 15, 20 gold. They're still not probably going to stabilize anyways, and they die off in like a 6 when it felt like they were in a pretty good position. So if they're like really far ahead, is there something that you think that people in general, like, I obviously this is a really broad question, but is there something approach wise for stage 4 that you think people are getting wrong? Because I see a lot of people, streamers, players, people in my chat always asking about these kinds of questions.
Well, if your like items are like locked to 4 costs, like there's no like even if you're high HP, there's not really that much of a point like skipping to 9 because then you're just gonna be behind on 4 cost. So like maybe you're probably supposed to like dig deeper on like 4-1 or something. Like if you're like actually that ahead. And you don't have like what I mean is like if you don't have like the Mord items and you like don't high roll like a Jace or like a Mord on your like first roll down, um like you're probably just supposed to stay 8, hit your pairs, and like 9 on like 5-2 or 5-5. But if you like do hit like the 1-star Mord, the 1-star Jace, like you have like that like linchpin that like gives you something to build for on 9, and like it can like affect like your item decisions on like carousel and Raptors basically gives you an anomaly target. Uh like that's actually when you want a fast 9. Also, like if you're like missing like one Garen, one Elise, it's probably not a 9. Uh but like if you like already like rolled like deep for like if you already rolled like semi deep and you have like everything like paired, but like say you're like Silkwa 2, but you're like Garen pair, Elise pair, some other trash,
Right.
like you're definitely supposed to roll. Because like you're already committed to rolling. I don't. This is a hard question to answer. Like I feel like
I
it
mean,
just
it's the
depends on the
hardest
spot.
question to answer. Like, I think even the
Yeah,
very top players get this wrong a good percentage of the time. It's actually what ends up deciding people's tournaments, right? When they're in a tough spot, figuring out when to roll or greed to nine, and then players agonize it over in their VOD reviews. I think this is actually a really hard question. But I think that's
yeah,
but also I think that's what makes it so rewarding. It's a good tree to play. I think and learn to master.
I agree. All I know is I hit this board. Like hitting board on 4-1 is the best because that's before you slam your items. So like instead of
Yeah.
making like declaw or whatever, you could make the QSS and
Right.
then save chain for like GA, and then go like QSS GA board on carousel, and then like you just know that's a 9 because then you can go like an anomaly on Mord, and then like you just save all your money. Like the Mord is good enough, he'll kill like most of the units on the board or win, so you have enough HP. Oh man, that's just the best.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Whenever I normalize more, it usually ends up going really well too. Uh, okay, and we're gonna talk about anomalies for the second half of the show as well. We're gonna finish off all that topics. Okay, so you're talking about you also play a lot of emissaries. You said that that's filling out the other percentage of it. Is it because you like it, or is it just again another safe default because you're opening up AD items and you got to play something with AD like Infinity Edge and AD items?
Oh, I mean, it's just like the comp you always play if you're playing like AD Conqueror opener and like not around like Rel Sentinel. Because if you're playing like Rel Sentinel, you can go into you just go into the Sentinel version. But if you're like not playing on Sentinel, say you're playing on like Darius, for example, then like emissaries is what you go for. I will say though that I think like if you're not playing on Corki, the comp is like pretty bad. Um, I think like the version that's like by Mbessa TF and like that like sometimes itemized Corki but only with infinite items is like a lot worse. Uh, I think the Corki version's pretty good though.
Yeah, I've seen, Vi and that work if you like kind of are really, really far ahead of tempo. Like some people have hit that because they've hit everything. And you don't need to roll for Corki if you have Vi 2 and Garen 2 and Invest 2. You don't have to actually do any more than that. But I know what you're talking about. The only thing that I felt that could be a serviceable replacement is if you hit an early Jace, because I think the form swappers can be really good with emissaries. And it's also a really easy board. You don't have to usually emissaries, you're always like racking your brain if you don't hit. Like, what do you do? But it's just four form swapper, four emissaries, and just, yeah, you can go to nine because Jace is pretty good.
Yep.
All right, so that's our A tier. Let's move on to the B tier here. There's a lot that we could unpack. I think let's talk about again, the start from the bottom here. This is Urgot, except Urgot is not hungry for power or hunger for power. It's like an Artiller's reroll variation that was surfacing in like other minor regions. Like it was happening in APAC, it was happening in LATAM and Brazil, and I think people started catching on to it. Is this comp for real? This is like just playing straight up fighter Urgot, like Stairs Gauge, BT Titans. What do you make of it?
I don't know. It's fine. I think if you're like win streaking around Urgot stage 2 or like Violet stage 2 into Urgot stage 3, like it can do okay. I feel like though this comp is like pretty hard countered by CC if you don't have the Sterix augment or like a Banshees or whatever. Because like if you like go QSS on this guy, like you just lose so much like tickiness. And the other thing is like without that QSS, he's like really really easy to position around if your opponent knows what they're doing. Like say you're going against Black Rose, they just put their Garen 2 plus Scion plus Elise like right in front of the Urgot. The Urgot actually can't move for like 6 seconds, and he has to get through like the Garen, and then they can just put like Silco right behind the focus fire. Like I don't know. Like I feel like these like countered by brain comps are just not very like good as people get better. Um, I don't know. I played this from like a very very good spot, like literally 11 streak on Warwick's portal, and I was like matchmaking RG away from a fifth from like 11 streak on Warwick portal. Like this
Okay, but
Urgot,
Warrior Portal is pretty crazy. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
yeah, I don't know. Like the comp is fine. Like I think the comp
Uh,
is fine. It's just like I think it deserves the B tier just because of how like it struggles in like the late game, I guess.
I played it one time myself, and I had the God spot. I had Urgot 2 with Unleash the Beast at 2-1, and I basically naturaled Urgot 3, and I almost won the game, but I couldn't deal with the shields of Renata. It was just like he couldn't actually get past like Singe 3 and Rel 3, and anything else with the visionaries. And I was like, man, I just feel like this comp actually gets stat checked pretty hard, even though it's trying to
Yep.
stat check everyone else. So I had problems with it, even though I felt like I had the best spot of all time. Allegedly, and this is just putting it out there because we have such little sample size, but allegedly, True Biz Urgot is 3 Sterix gauge. That's allegedly that's what it is. I'm not entirely sure if that's actually true, but I had one person look into it and he was like trying to be like, "Are you sure it's not Bis with 3 Sterix?" And I looked at it and I'm like, "I'm not sure," because I don't play this comp enough to know, but
Yeah,
just putting it out
same.
there.
Oh, I mean, I don't do math. I don't do math. I don't do experimenting. So, uh,
Hey, nice. I like that.
I mean, someone smarter than me can figure it out probably, and it might
Yeah.
be.
All right, let's flip it to the other side. One comp that I think, two comps actually that I think you've been kind of drawing my attention to. One of them is Form Swappers, like Gangplank Reroll, and I want to talk about that. The other is Tristana. She's seen a couple of variations pop up as well. So starting off with Form Swappers, I noticed that when you were updating the website, you put Gangplank in the front line, and a lot of people are very curious by that because most people play Gangplank in the front or in the back rather, as opposed to a frontline melee unit.
For the. Oh wait, I was putting the front line for the Conqueror version. But the thing is, like, I wasn't even sure. Wait, why is it? Oh, it's in the front line. Oh, I'm just looking at this now. Wait, it is full. Wait, did I do this? Oh crap.
Oh, I mean,
I
if
I
it's
just
an accident, we can undo it.
yeah, because bro, this guy has like full
Full
backline items in
backline
the front.
items. I
I
think
feel
it's
like
because maybe you're
I might have just misclicked or something.
okay.
I don't. Okay, so the thing is, I don't actually think frontline GP is bad. Like he's actually really good. The thing is, like, it's not like good enough to like basic comp around and like actually like true carry. I don't know, but the thing is, like, I if you just randomly have like Jace 2, like if you have like Jace 2 backline, like Swain or like Swain 3 or something, you actually like don't need that much backline damage, and he can like low key be your like off tank because he does like a flat heal with a spell, and you can give him Omnivamp, and he's a
I
pretty good
see, I
tank
see.
buster in the front line. But like if you're like trying to like reroll him because he's like it's usually easier to 3-star him than like Swain, for example. You definitely prefer him to be in the back, I think. I don't know, I did a lot of experiment. I mean, I didn't really do that a lot of experimenting. I played like 2 games of it, of frontline with a Conqueror. It felt okay, but I feel like backline's still probably better, just because I think backline Swain in the Conqueror comp is just weird because like I feel like backline Swain scales with like really what's a good frontline, and Conqueror is not a good frontline. So like Swain gets like maybe 2 casts in a Conqueror fight because the fights are so fast, and you kind of want him to get like more than that. I don't know.
Yeah, I hear that. I do think Swain is good DPS early though. People underrate him and they overrate him as a tank. But I understand what you're saying as well. Is like there's not much tanks in the form of Conquerors. It's actually a fast comp. You want to actually obliterate your opponents. I played Game Playing Reroll a handful of times. I played Why Not Both, and I actually experimented with like 3-star GP in the back, 3-star in the front. I'm pretty sure back feels a lot better still, at least for if the fights are going to try to drag out a little bit at all, because of the way he scales his ability. But either way, just food for thought that I think is interesting. And this is one of the less explored reroll comps out there in general. The other is Tristana, and she's seen a couple of different variations. One variation that popped up right after our previous episode was that people were playing Bruisers because Bruisers was an alternative frontline to Sentinels. Right now, it's basically, as everyone knows, Sentinels is really contested. Alawi and the Sentinel package is really hard to hit reliably. People were experimenting with different ways and say, well, Bruisers only has 1/4 cost, and even then, at least it's not the star. You can try that. Another variation is trying to play around Watchers. So, which is your favorite, the Sentinels, the Bruisers, or the Watchers out of the Tristana?
I'm like very convinced Watcher is the strongest, but it's also like the most expensive. I'll put it 3 ways. If you're uncontested Sentinels, it's probably the easiest way to play. Um, just because you're rolling like so many two costs, and like the board just like fits really easily. So like you have like no levels where it feels awkward, no levels where you're like desperately chasing for something. that's like that hard to hit. Um, I feel like Bruisers is I guess probably the most consistent because these units are like never contested, but it's also probably the lowest cap. I think like Sentinels is like the mid cap of the three. And I think like the 4 Watcher 4 Emissary version is like the highest cap by like quite a bit, but it's also like you need to hit like Tristana 3, like and the Garen and Bessa on 7 probably, and like you kind of like you would like a Scar 3 and like or like Loki like a Vlad or Darius 3 as well. Like Loki.
Darius 3, okay.
I mean not really. You'd probably just sell them.
Yeah.
But like you like all I'm saying is you just need like a lot of money. But I do think it's the highest cap version, just because like 4 Emissary is legit more DPS. It's just more DPS than the other versions can do.
Well, sure,
And like if you get to
jump.
and if you get to like 4 Watchers, that's just more. It's like the same amount of frontline as like the Bruisers or the Sentinels.
The most successful way that I've done it twice was to play Bruiser Tristana and then just wait for the emissary players to die and then transition to emissaries. And that felt the easiest. Us also just because it's very cheap, so you can, if you're ahead, you can get to 9 very easily.
Yep.
And so that was like the best way, in my opinion. So it's kind of like exactly what we're talking about. Some whatever cheap frontline that works, and then cap higher with emissaries.
Yep.
All right. Real quick, I noticed that we also did a big sweep over the hero augments. Let's wrap up this meta discussion because we have a lot that we can go over. But I want to hear your opinions on hero augments. Some people are pretty surprised by our choices. I think, for example, Trundle is pretty high up there now, and I think a lot of people are wondering if that's for real.
Oh yeah. So so I actually did some investigating. I like looked at like all the units with hero augments. I used like a bunch of filters. I filtered out like traits that people would play them in as trait bots. Like I filtered out 6 scrap for Trundle, or 4 scrap, 9 scrap for Trundle. And then I like gave them items, looked at like 3-star, 4-star, like all that stuff. I did this for like all the hero augments, by the way, but just using Trundle as an example, like try to figure out like how are like these units when itemized in a way you would itemize hero augments are doing, because you can't actually search for augment stats anymore. And I found that like I found like the order of like how good these augments are, but I also found like they're just not very good. So like the order of the 1 cost is like Trundle, then Singed, then Aurelia, then Steb, but they're like all not good except for like Trundle, like maybe.
What is a spot for Trundle then? Besides, of course, taking trolling on 2-1, like what would be? Do you have to have like more than Trundle 2?
I think you definitely need to load with Trundle 2 and a Slam, and probably like a good component. For most of these hero augments, I've usually only clicked them on like the Vibe portal that gives you 2 anvils, because like then you can go for Bis early. You get like the actual win streak on stage 2, and it feels okay. Because otherwise, like if you're not like 3 item hero augment on stage 3 and how fast tempo is these days, you're just gonna die. So looking for 2-star plus like potential slams basically.
Okay, makes sense.
But yeah, I don't know. Like one time I took trolling. I kid you not. I think I had like Whist. I actually had Whist Trundle, by the way. I had Ginsu Sterex QSS. No heal. No. It wasn't QSS. It was Ginsu Sterex Titans. No healing. Because I just never found.
Okay.
I literally just I had a sword, but I made Sterex on like stage 2 win streak, and that was like very incorrect looking back. But I basically just ended up with no healing the entire game, and I like just still went third because I don't know. I just like 6 bruiser stat checked everyone, and then I lost to like some high rollers. But like I mean that's what it is for every hero augment.
You want the real tech? I'm about to hit you with the real tech.
Oh, this
trolling.
RFC.
Trolling with Prowler's Claw, because then soon as he's able to get past 1, he just messes up people's backline. It's quite a sight to behold.
I can see it.
Because he scales so much AD, and the problem is late game. Doesn't matter. He scales 100 AD, but then you realize he just can't kill Garen 2, or he just gets stuck on Alawi 2. But if you have Prowler's Claw and you position him correctly, that guy actually does a lot of work. So yeah.
I mean, the way I kind of got around it, I think like my opponents are just lazy, but like that's just gonna be every ladder game. is I did the thing where you backline him and then he like wraps because like there's like all the units block him. Like you just play like 6 melee
I
units and
see.
he ends up wrapping.
Yep,
So
yep,
I
yep.
won like a few fights that way, but I mean like in theory that doesn't work against Brain, but I mean it is what it is.
I feel like that's what a lot of these reroll comps end up running into. The last reroll comp that we got to talk about, it's like one of the hot topics of the community, is Lone Hero Lux. This composition started surfacing because people discovered mage armor with 3-star Lux with specifically 2 Archangels and a Bloodthirster, and picking Lone Hero ends up hitting what many people say is an unbeatable setup. They're posting screenshots of Lux 3 beating 3-star 4 costs, beating 500 cash out Chembear and things like that. Is the hype there for you? So is this comp for real?
Yeah, it's for real. It's very strong. The thing is like it's actually so hard to like wrap your mind around because it turns like TFT on its head. The thing is like I think it's definitely beatable. By the way, like I've never actually had a Lux in my game win a lobby. I mean I've played like 100 games this patch. Never seen it win a lobby. I don't know. It probably like showed up like 5 to 10 times. I haven't really counted. Um, and most of that is like it is beatable. It loses to very high burst damage, like CC and like Morgana. You probably need like multiples of all of that stuff. It's not like just like one thing can do it. Um, but the thing is, it's like that stuff does not equal like 3 stars. Like like for example, Twitch. I don't think like any 3-star Twitch board, unless it was like an Edge Knight unit with CC could like maybe do it. Like I actually just think Twitch's single target, even at like 3 star, is just like so hopeless. Like you're just gonna lose to the comp anyways. Like the matchups are just so polarizing, basically, that like it's beatable, but like it just farms like screenshots because
Yeah, yeah, it does.
there's a lot of comps that it will literally just always beat no matter what. So like I don't know, it's kind of like hard to argue against like it actually being balanced because it kind of isn't.
It's not
Just
balanced at all, man.
just because of
Because
like
the
the gold
value of
disparity.
the composition, like the gold value of it, is
Mm.
just ridiculously slanted. Um, I tried to do an AFK challenge because I actually hit it I high rolled it so hard that let's see how long I can AFK before I actually do something. And I actually like 10 streaked into stage 6 while like literally not doing a single thing, not
Yeah.
picking up an orb, not actually buying anything in the shop. It's just really crazy, really really crazy.
I kind of have the opposite of that challenge, as in, like, someone in my lobby literally hit the Exodia, like the like it was Lone Hero, Bis, 3 stars, Mage armor with like I think he had powered shields and LDP.
Oh wow.
Um,
Okay.
so like the stats were crazy. So like but the thing is like I had like I was super far ahead as well, so I had like the whole game to just plan around the 1v1, and like I came up with like I don't know. I felt like it was like a pretty creative solution, as in like I just sold like my Elise 2 and my Garen 2 playing Black Rose in order to play 6 Dom plus Morgana 1, and then I like Edge of Night trench coated my Mundo to like stall for the thing, and then eventually Silco just killed it. So I
Okay.
won that way. That was like really cool. But like I mean it's like I don't know. I feel like people probably would not have fun, or like it's not very intuitive to sell like your entire 2-star front line,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
but like the thing
Play
is
Morgana
frontline is
1
fake
to
versus that
counter
comp.
her.
Like frontline's fake
Yeah.
versus that comp, but I mean yeah, I don't know. Like it definitely needs nerfs, but I'm just saying I have never seen it win. So there's that.
It gets the top 2s, top 3s very consistently though. That's for
For
sure.
sure.
Okay. Keep your eye out. I'm pretty sure Mordog has said that that's going to be on chopping block. I personally believe it's going to be one of the comps that lives beyond this set. Everyone's going to remember this comp in
Oh
the
yeah,
future.
it just farms crazy moments, but the thing is like I don't know, like the first few times I lost to it, I actually like did get pretty mad because like, oh yeah, I mean you feel like you're just winning the fight and then you just lose to some like shitter. But the thing is, like as soon as you accept that it's just a 1 unit loss, like I actually just never get tilted by this anymore. Like, oh, it's just a 1 unit loss, bro. Like I could, like, instead of complaining about this, that's just giving 1 unit loss, can we just complain about Kim Barrett instead? It's like a 10 unit loss every single time you fight against it. 2-1 Kim Barrett's fight, instantly win the game. Like Lux, it's like only like a top 3, and you get 1 unit losses. Like, feel
Or
like we need
Kano
to
Los
shit.
Dos. I'm pretty sure we could do both. There's room. There's room in the complaint train.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. Well, that wraps up our meta section. A lot of good stuff. Let's go ahead and move on to fact or fraud. That's right. We're going to bring back fact or fraud for this episode. We'll see how long it stays. I'm going to throw out a statement about the meta and ask Dishsoap, is that factual? Is that fraudulent? All right. So we just talked about Lone Hero Lux. So let's going to revisit it. Statement number 1, Lone Hero Lux is only playable with mage armor, meaning you shouldn't accept any other anomaly besides that. People are willing to roll 100, 120 gold for it if possible.
No. You can like easily top 4 without it. You need a Lone Hero. Like, I don't know. I see people on Twitter complaining that like this is like 5-way contest. There's no way 5 of them had Lone Hero.
Yeah,
so, like,
that's BS. That's
so
BS.
like they're just playing without Lone Hero, and the thing is like the average placement on this is like it's not very good. So I feel like people are playing without Lone Hero, and I don't think like people know that it's like a Lone Hero only kind of thing. But like for Mage Armor specifically, I don't think you need it. I think it's the best one, but I think other stuff can work. To be honest, I've actually never played this before, so I don't really know what the acceptable ones to take are. I've seen like Deep Roots.
Yeah, Deep Roots gets you a lot of the way there to mage armor.
I've seen like some like really weird ones, like the Revive on Death. I'm pretty sure that one was trash. I've seen like Damage Amp. I don't think that one's like that good, but I don't know. Like maybe the one that's like Armor Namar above a percentage health is good. I'm just
Bulwark
thinking,
is what you're
yeah,
probably
Bulwark, Ultimate Hero is probably fine. Just thinking, like there's probably like I think there's probably like 5 you just take, like Ultimate Hero, Bulwark, Mage Armor, Deep Roots. I think they're all fine.
Yep. That lines up with what other people have said. There's some players that have played this 3 or 4 times and said it's always mage armor and I'll roll for it no matter what. But I think those are also players who I think are known for being very stubborn with the way they play. So I think you should be a little bit more wide in how you roll, I think.
So like the thing is, the argument for like always Mage Armor is that comp doesn't really need gold. Like like if you're like on an Anomaly run, if you have Lux 3, like pushing levels is like whatever in that comp. So like you might as well just Gamba for the Giga one. I don't know, maybe like that's the argument for it. I probably wouldn't do that, but that would be the argument for it.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, let's go into statement number 2. This actually relates to the previous one. You should not be rolling more than 10 to 15 gold for Anomaly unless you're playing for something very specific, in the instance of like Lone Hero Lux. Let's say you're playing, like, I'm guessing this is a statement more about standard 4-cost tempo lines, Emissary, Black Rose, Silco, so on and so forth. Back to fraud.
100% agree. The thing is, like, what like you think 10 to 15 gold are, and like what 10 to 15 gold actually is in game is actually pretty different. Because like I feel like I would like roll 7 times and I would feel like I rolled 12 times, if that makes any sense, right? Like I feel like we always just overestimate how much we roll because like we're always low rolling or whatever.
Yeah.
So like actually rolling more than 10 times, that's like kind of a lot. So I kind of agree with this. I feel like you usually get something takeable in 10. I definitely had games where like I've like rolled more than that, but it was probably just a mistake. Yeah.
Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about too, because I try to review my own games afterwards, and I'm like, man, I felt like I had no gold to roll for my anomalies, and I rolled, and I'm like, well, I picked something in like 4 options. I felt like I rolled like 10 gold or something like that. But it's because it's funny how that always works with anomalies.
I mean, it's also the same with like rolling. Like, oh, I rolled 40 gold, and then it turns out you rolled like 5 times.
Yeah,
you rolled 5 times and bought like 2 4
bought everything in the shop.
Yeah.
All right, last statement, factor fraud. Emissary players are approaching late game incorrectly. You get the max cap by cutting down to 1 emissary, then playing higher value units. This is a statement I've seen a couple of really top end players talk about in debate. So I'm curious what you think there. So
I could see it. I guess I'm not like well versed enough in the line to comment. Because I've actually,
despite playing it 70% of your games with Black Rose.
Yeah, but it's more like I play it like 30% in Black Rose. It's like more like I play like 20%, 25% in Black Rose.
50%.
Yeah, something like that.
I see.
Yeah, I don't know. I could see it. I've like literally never done it though. The thing is, like, I feel like like if you're doing that, then you probably you have to do like a giga pivot. Like that's actually so much gold because you have to like go off of Corki to Jace probably because you're losing Artillerist from the Tristana because you're probably just keeping Garen, if I had to guess, as your like lone
emissary.
lone emissary. So you're probably pivoting to Corki, or so you're probably pivoting to Jace. Like I don't know, like yeah, I agree. If you like playing like a Jace Mord duo carry, like moving best items to Mord or something, play like 4 form swapper. I mean, even like 2 form swapper with 5 cost is probably better. Yeah, I mean that probably is better, but like that's also like ridiculously expensive. This doesn't really sound like something you can reasonably go for like very often at all.
Okay. So it's
So
a very rare scenario. But then again,
yeah,
I don't know about you, but I've been running into a lot of like Warwick's Hungers, Scuttle Puddle. You know, I don't know what's going on, but I feel like the lobbies are just super juiced all the time.
yeah. I don't know. I'll like look into it, but that feels like a very very like high econ only type of thing. I don't really think you should be looking to like go into it just from like going 9. Just that alone.
Okay. Makes sense. All right, let's wrap that up and then move on to pop quiz. All right, Dishsoap pop quiz. I wonder how much you studied over the break as you traveled. But pop quiz, we're going to throw out some questions about the meta and use a lot of stats to back it up and see whether or not Dishsoap knows a thing or two. Okay, first question. How you feeling? You feeling ready?
No.
Great. Perfect. All right, this one we're going to start off with a little bit easy, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Which 5 cost currently is the only one averaging in the
Jinx.
4s? Oh,
Jinx.
wow. You just knew that. You didn't even let me finish.
Yeah. I mean, I saw the TFT clip.
Yeah, Jinx is averaging super low. And it's just because she's overplayed, or is that's just actually how she's performing?
Well, I mean, like Jinx outside of Rebels is like really bad, and then like Rebels is not the most amazing comp of all time, and that's the comp that usually plays Jinx. So it's just like a combination of both those things.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay, that was probably too easy. I've been trying to lob you in very nice, easy alley oops and see if you can.
I mean, I'll take it. It's kind of nice.
All right. Okay. Question number 2. What is, because you just did some hero augment pass, what is Crimson Pack Vlad's best artifact?
Oh, artifact, fuck. Ah, shit. I didn't even look at artifacts, by the way. So yeah, I mean, I'll just pull up the TFTAcademy artifact. I think it's in the
Not
comp
the comp.
builder.
Don't pull up the comp.
No, I'm not
I may
pulling
have
up the
updated
comp.
it.
I'm looking at the comp builder.
All right.
Because it has all the artifacts you can look at. I mean, I've literally never clicked this. If it like does instances of damage, it might be Jewel. But I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm just gonna mana. Like, is it actually Manazane? Crap, I don't even know what this augment does, by the way.
All right. How about I read the augment to you?
Yeah. Read the augment to me. Yeah.
All right. So, Crimson Pact, gain of Vladimir. Your strongest Vladimir gains +3 range and gains 3 bonus mana each attack. His ability no longer heals, but now grants 10% damage amp and deals 80% bonus damage and spreads to 1 additional nearest enemy.
Okay, that actually tells me nothing. So it's either it actually it might just be DFG then for the like starter combat burst, because it's not like it really scales like from like casting more, like scales like infinitely or whatever. Like I don't think DFG is that good. Man, I'm lost. I don't know. Like units like this in the past have been pretty good with Zanyas. So, and I don't think DFG is very good, and I don't think it like giga scales with Manazane from my knowledge. So I'm just gonna go Zanyas, but it's probably not Zanyas.
All right, NT. It was Wit's End. Wit's End
Oh, yeah.
very good with Vlad.
Yeah,
And
that makes sense.
honestly, only one of 2 semi-playable. The other semi-playable is Gambler's Blade, but yeah,
Okay.
not
So
it
just cares about attack speed. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, exactly. That makes sense.
Yeah, I've never clicked this in my life, so unlucky.
Yeah, I know. I have tried it on multiple occasions. I top forward once and I went dead last another one. So this augment is not that great in my opinion.
Yeah, I knew the normal bis, but yeah, I had no idea for the artifacts.
No problem. Question number 3. Chem Baron emblem is the highest win rate emblem in the game. I think everyone knows that. What is number 2 across all ranks? And if you want, it's Masters Plus, but this is true across all ranks.
I believe it's. I mean, it's either Automata or like. I think it's Automata or Enforcer. I mean, Enforcer's high. I don't think it's like second though. I mean, I'm just gonna go Automata. Like I don't know. It probably just is Automata, right?
Automata, final answer?
Yeah.
It's very close. Automata's third. The second highest is Conqueror, believe it or not. Conqueror goes Chem Baron, and then the biggest gap of all time. And then Conqueror, tiny gap, Automata, and then Automata's right there with like Rebel and Experiment, believe it or not. Experiment's pretty high.
I think that's I think Automata's emblem's like, or sorry, I think Conqueror emblem is very good, but I think that one is actually like taken off late game carousel like quite a bit, because like a lot of times if you're playing like emissaries, you actually like don't have the Conqueror in, so like that's like a late game carousel pick, and if you're like playing Soko Mord, you also don't have Conqueror in, so that's a late game pick.
Yeah, fair
so
enough.
I think like part of that is like a little skewed, but I do think Conqueror emblem's pretty good. I don't think it's better than Automata though.
For what it's worth, the AVP is way lower than the others you described. Like Automata 3.7, 65 top 4, like everything is good. It's just that the Conqueror win rate is higher, so you might be
whoa, we're talking about win rate?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I probably still would have guessed the same thing, honestly, but yeah, that does make sense. Conqueror, like, if it gets going, it just wins. So
Yeah. I mean, because the context was Chem Baron's number 1 emblem win rate, but its AVP is actually pretty low.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't hear win rate. I just assumed AVP. But I mean, that's on me for not listening.
All right, no worries. Maybe you'll
I would have guessed the same thing, by the way.
Fair enough. Okay. Rank the AVP of the 3 7-piece traits in the set currently.
That's Rebel.
7 being the highest it can possibly cap. Not so Rebels would be 10.
Oh. Well, now no, okay. There's Experiment. I did like figure out what these traits are real quick. There's Experiment. There is. Wait, what are the traits?
All right, one of them is Black Rose and one of them is Chem Baron.
Oh yeah, Black Rose.
Yeah. So the three you said Experiment, Chem Baron, and Black Rose. Rank the AVP.
Chem Baron. Yeah, true. Okay, Experiment, Chem Baron, and I'm supposed to rank them by what?
AVP, not by win rate, because I think that'd be too easy.
Oh crap! I mean, I think all these are really good. Okay, I actually think Chem Baron's probably the last in AVP here. I think 7 Experiment's better than 7 Black Rose, but I think 7 Black. Oh wait, no. But like since Warwick exists, I'm pretty sure the Experiment AVP is like giga skewed. So I'm gonna go Experiment into Black Rose into Chem Baron for AVP.
All right, final answer. Lock it in.
Yeah, lock it in.
Pretty close. No. Black Rose is above Chem Baron, but Experiment's actually last.
Oh, okay.
It was very surprising to me. I actually didn't think that. I thought that was going to be higher as well. So one of those interesting things. I think it's because the 7 Experiment Warwick setups that a lot of people end up into are actually not very good because they just kind of splash in 7 Experiment and assume it's going to be good enough. But I don't know. I personally have played 7 Experiment and it didn't feel like it was going to be game changing for me personally. I'm not sure why that is. I played 7 Experiment and I got like third anyways. I was like, okay, I feel like if I played 5 Experiment, it was going to end third.
Maybe. I feel like if your Experiment setup's already good, it's just kind of giga. But
maybe it's like a +2 thing. Maybe it's like when you get the second Experiment emblem, it's like insane.
I mean, okay, like the argument against this is that like it doesn't like turn your like bad board into a good board with 7 Experiment, whereas I think like 7 Black Rose does turn your bad board into a good board pretty much. But like I'm actually way more scared of a capped 7 Experiment board than a capped 7 Black Rose board.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Good to know.
Also, the work bonus is trash. Do not put the guy in the hex unless like.
Thank you. Louder for the people in the back. I even try it just because I'm like, yeah, surely there's corner case. I've only found one scenario where it's good. I found one scenario where it's good, or at least in my opinion, it's good. It's against Renata because she puts everything
Yeah.
always super club, so you can finally actually find units to get adjacent stuns, and it actually works okay.
No, but like this is like actually like I mean they did it on purpose because like if this unit actually had a good bonus, like you feel like pretty bad for not fighting him. But this bonus is trash. Like I feel like you just don't put him on the hex, man.
Thank you.
Like the bonus is just like terrible.
Last question here. Last time we talked about 4 stars at 1 cost and asked who was the best 4-star 1 cost. So now this week, who is the best 4 cost 2-star in AVP and win rate?
Oh jeez. I mean first guess is just Nocturne, but I mean I could see it being like I could like low-key see it being Urgot, but I don't think it's Urgot. I could low-key see it could be one of the Renata comps, like one of the Renata units. Is it AVP or win rate?
AVP. And its win rate is also
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, I'm torn between Nocturne and like actually and just Renata, by the way. Just Nocturne and Renata. Yeah, let's go Renata. Yeah, Renata, fuck it.
All right, Renata is top 5, but not there.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think if you listen to your instinct, it would have been nice, or at least you said Urgot, and Urgot is the best.
Okay, I can see it because he scales up he scales HP so well. So
yeah, exactly. His scaling is outrageous. It goes Urgot, Tristana, then Nocturne. So
cool.
Okay. All right, so that wraps up our pop quiz. Not too shabby. Let's go ahead and finish out all of our anomalies. And it's funny that we kind of pick up right where we left off because this one is really well timed. Because last time we left off at Legacy of Shurima, which we start in the M's, the very beginning one is Mage Armor. So Mage Armor is an anomaly. Actually, let me share my screen real quick, just so that the guy has a reference. Screen window, do this, and set info. All right, so Legacy of Shurima. Let's do this. Okay. All right. So let's start off with our anomaly section and pick up where we left off, which last time it was Legacy of Shurima. Let's talk about Mage Armor. Now, we've talked about it a couple times through Lone Hero Lux. When would you pick Mage Armor in any other scenario?
I don't believe this is very good outside of like Archangel, which is kind of weird because I feel like it should be. Like, I don't think you're supposed to take this on like a Blitz 3 and like a Dominator setup unless it's like 6 Dom, but like how are you hitting Blitz 3, 6 Dom? Like, I think like that might be it. But the one time I've taken this is when I had a Radiant Archangel on Mordekaiser. And like that it literally went infinite, by the way. But yeah, I don't know how you're supposed to have a Radiant Archangel on a Mord and then give it the anomaly. Because like the thing is like why do you even have a Radiant Archangel in the first place? I only had this, by the way, because I thought Archangel was like a good item for like AP flex line because I was still like building Heimerdinger and like Black Rose at the start of the set. So like I would actually never have a Radiant Archangel nowadays. So it would like never be in the spot for this. But I don't know. It's actually pretty cracked on like a Radiant Archangel unit.
Yeah, fair enough.
AP,
I've taken it in Conqueror Mordekaiser because you get so much AP on it, and it actually worked out really. His stat line by the end of the fights was like 250 minimum across the board, sometimes reaching the 300. So pretty insane on Mord. But yeah, I think it's really niche outside of the Lux and maybe a Mord scenario. Magic Expert. This champion gets 40 more ability power from all sources. I actually like this one. I think this is a little bit underrated by some people. What are your thoughts on Magic Expert?
You click this on Soko. 4+ Dom. If you're playing like 2 Dom Bronze for Life, it's a skip. But it's I believe it's worth on 4 Dom, 4+ Dom.
Is that just a
It's,
math question like that you have to know the answer to?
yeah, kind of. But the thing is, like, you just watch the fight and you just see like, oh, he's getting like kind of a lot of AP with this.
If you're 6 DOMs, is this overkill?
No. It's nothing is overkill with Soko because it'll just spread to the next units. This does want you to like have like the rapid cast build versus like a JG, for example. It would want like the double Shojin or like double Nashers. But I think it's fine on Soko with 4+ Doms. I don't think you skip this one.
You don't take it on any other AP carry besides Silco?
I mean, I have taken this like when I have like a Death Cap and an Archangel on someone, or like just some kind of setup like that. But I don't think it's that good.
Okay, fair enough. Magic training. This one has been used a lot on Heimerdinger, used a lot on Kog'Maw. Are there any other applications of magic training that we have? It's because it's kind of like a way you can ramp up like the archangels on fast casters.
This might be okay on Renata. Renata casts fairly fast. I just don't know how good it is versus like a singed one, but I feel like this should be pretty good. Because the thing is like even the singed AP and the rel AP are like actually pretty good for you. Because the singed AP is DR, rel AP is shield.
Yeah,
So
that's true. That's
I
true.
could see myself taking this on Renata and feel pretty happy. But yeah, Heimer, Kog'Maw are pretty good for this as well.
All right, I like it. AP scales the front line. Mini Me's. Gain 3 minis that deal 30% attack damage every 3 attacks, and their attacks reduce armor by 5. Do they scale with this scales with your attack speed, right? So it's not their 3 attacks separately. They also scale with how fast your champion's attacking.
Yeah, it's every time you attack 3 times.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you can like take this on Twitch. I think you could take this on Twitch, but I don't think it's like amazing on him. But it's like so hard to like tell what it's doing. But I don't know. I've taken this on Twitch and like the game didn't go horribly, but I never really felt like I was getting carried by this. I guess. So like
Yeah, it is funny
I don't know.
though.
I literally have no idea. Like I don't know. Like maybe it's doing something. Maybe it's not. I feel like probably if like this is good, it's like the values in the armor, the flat armor shred, because like sometimes Twitch can actually like struggle with killing tanks, but usually you win the fight by like just like chipping down the back line. So it's like I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough. I haven't found many application of it, but it's cute. It's a very cute one. I like it. The little rats next to Twitch is pretty funny.
Yep. And then you have experiment emblem, so it's like he gets like an 80% size rat, and then he has like 3 mini rats. So you just have 5 rats.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I like that. All right. Nothing wasted. This one's a really commonly picked one, especially for any
Oh,
AP casters.
it's just disgusting. Like this one is just like I don't know. Like this printed at like 100% like when it launched, and at 70% it's still crazy. I think it's literally just Biss on every single unit that wants to cast.
Both 80 and AP or just AP?
Just AP. Or no, both. It's Biss on like Jake, Zoe, Soko, Heimer, Jace, Bowls.
I took it on a GP3 before, and people and they seem to do okay.
I had this on Mel once. That was pretty funny.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
This on like Swain 3 is crazy as well. This on Ziggs is crazy. I mean, I think this is literally just the best caster one. Like if you're a caster, you want this one.
Agreed. It helps you just spam
Yeah,
your ability.
I don't know. It's best in like end of the day, and I feel like I wish I could just like force this, but you can't.
That's probably a good thing. It's probably a good thing.
Yeah, probably.
1,000 cuts. Attacks deal 30% bonus true damage plus 12 true damage for each time the target was damaged by this effect. I have not seen anyone take it besides Kog'Maw. Have you ever seen an application of 1,000 cuts besides that?
I got eliminated on the main stage of Macao by a Chinese player who did this with double Ginsu Twitch and went second.
Oh, interesting.
I did that on ladder afterwards. I went fourth, so it seemed okay.
Yeah.
I think if you like have like pumping up or like double Ginsu or something. Fuck, sorry. I don't think you skip this on Twitch. Like, I actually think it actually did like a decent amount of true damage, like 3 to 4K a fight.
Okay. Interesting.
But yeah, I think it's like Twitch cog only.
Power absorption. Gain 30% AD each time an ally dies. Gain 9% of their attack damage.
Like, I don't think this one's amazing, but I think like just because of how bad like all of the other 80 ones are, like this just ends up being the best one for like an 80 backliner. Like it's just the best one. Even though it's like it's not even that good compared to the AP ones. Like I think the AP to AD anomalies is like super skewed towards AP being better. And I think Nothing Wasted, by the way, is like supposed to be the 80 or like the AP one, but it's like best for 80 casters as well. But this one is best for like I think this is the best one for like Twitch and Corki if you want to give them anomaly. Unless you're like 1 HP and you have the damage and baseline HP 1.
Comeback
But
story.
yeah, comeback story. But this one's usually better.
Yeah.
Just
I
a
like it
lot
on
of AD.
vertical, on traits that give you a lot of the AD as well, if it makes sense with it. But yeah, because like one time I played Corky in Rebels, and then he just got infinite AD from it. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's I mean, even in emissaries, even though like there's no traits that give you a bunch of AD, like Mbessa 2, Garen 2, Vi 2 have pretty high base ADs just because of how they exist, and he wants to like close out your fight. Same kind of thing in like a Twitch flex comp. Like Twitch is like basically always your last unit alive in that comp because he has a bunch of HP from experiment, and then you're playing a bunch of units with like actually pretty decent HP if you're AD if you're playing like because I mean you can play Mbessa Vi in that comp as well pretty easily. So just works out with those comps what they want to do.
All right, protective shielding. Combat start every 8 seconds. 12% max HP shield to self and the 2 lowest held allies for 4 seconds. I love this one. This one feels really fun to play.
Yeah, this one's really really good. I don't think you're like you definitely don't take this unless you have like HP item setups, even on like Garen. Like if you have like the Sunfire Spark, like Sunfire Spark Bramble Garen, I don't think you take this one. But if you have like a Hormogs, it's pretty good. Like it's really good. It's really good if you have a like the prismatic that gives you like the 4 belts.
Belt overflow.
Yeah, I had triple Warma Garen with that with that augment and this anomaly, and yeah, it was Garen won the whole game, but it didn't really matter.
Yeah, that augment surprisingly is pretty clutch a lot of times just to get your front line going.
Mm.
Repulsor. This one's interesting. Gain 35% attack speed, uncast, knock back their target if it's within 2 hexes of them.
I've never clicked this in my life. Probably not planning on doing it. I saw Leduc like put this on Akali, and it like sometimes let him wrap the backline because it would like knocked in the backline and then it would get in range. But then half the time it would just like target the enemy frontline again.
Yep.
Like after killing it, so it just seemed very inconsistent / bad.
Yeah, he also tested with Mbessa, and it was also kind of mid as well. I think it's like caught between like it doesn't give the stats, it doesn't give enough to melee units that want it that actually can utilize it often, and you don't want to put on a range unit because that's not exactly what you're looking for either. So I think it's like it just doesn't have a home right now.
I think if there was like a melee unit that was like specialized as a tank killer, this would be like pretty good, but I don't really think that exists.
So Savika, sort of.
I mean, not really, because it doesn't really. I'm more thinking about like someone who just like auto attacks a melee, like auto attacks in melee range for like max HP or something. But that doesn't really exist.
Yeah,
then, like,
I mean, it kind of was. So, I mean, I thought this was sort of like a displacement thing. Like, remember what Lissandra did back in set 11, where she would teapot and throw something? I kind of thought that's what you would want to do with this.
Yeah, but like I'm saying like the tank killer thing because like you just want to like push everything away. I'm not cooking, by the way. Like I don't know. I think this one's just like
yeah, fair enough.
Like, I don't know. I think this one's just bad. Like I don't know. I feel like you could make it good by just giving stats, like more stats.
Yeah,
35 AS is like whatever. But
yeah, maybe a little bit more HP I think would be good.
Yeah.
Scuttle Familiar. On death, summon a crab with 100% of the maximum HP armor and magic resistance.
It's 111% on live, but this one's pretty good. Notably very good with Alawi. I think that's the standout one. Sometimes Garen, but Alawi is very good because it like Alawi gains HP during the fight, and she's also a sentinel. And like she gains HP from Rebel as well, so she usually ends up being the biggest thing you can do with this. Like Garen might have more HP, but the like Alawi probably has more resistances and like similar HP. So I think this if you have like a strong Alawi too, and you need to protect your backline, this can do work. I like the thing is like I think this is like really like you never want to take this in like melee comps if you're playing like vertical emissaries because like you just take this to like protect your backline because they have to kill your frontline and then kill the crab. But if you're like playing a melee unit, they're gonna retarget onto your melee before the crab, and then it's kind of fake.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Just that. Also, a small Easter egg. Sometimes you kill this and it gives them a gold. So,
Wait, what?
Yeah, if you kill their crab, it sometimes gives you gold. I don't know
Okay.
like the percentage, but I've seen this happen like lots of times.
What? Okay, I didn't realize that.
Because it's literally just like a scuttle crab from like
I
the portal.
see. Interesting. I didn't know that. Okay,
So
I'll be
you're
on the hunt next time I see my opponent take Scuttle
yeah,
Familiar.
they're giving you free econ.
Nice. Okay, share your energy. Combat start, grant 15% of ADAP, health, armor, and MR to adjacent allies. Sort of similar to like Ring Duins, a level of positioning.
Yeah, I think the numbers this gives is like actually very, very good. The problem is Randuin's positioning is like terrible. Like there's a reason the Randuin's augment like had to like double the range, or isn't it more than double the range?
No, it's just 2 X's, immovable object.
Yeah, okay. I mean 2x. Yeah, it is just 2x's. Actually, is it?
It is, yeah.
Oh yeah, because I guess I'm like thinking about the hex itself. Yeah, it's 2x's. But yeah, that there's a reason it had to do that because clumping everything next to each other is just terrible in this game. But I do think this effect is like kind of good. I specifically remember like taking this like a 3-star, like a 3-star Leona and like Tristana reroll, and then just like giving everything kind of infinite stats, and then just like stat checking in the lobby. But the thing is, like you like, I feel like you need to be like your team already like I think this is like only a sentinel thing, and it's like only a reroll sentinel thing because like otherwise like clumping is just too bad. So I don't know. It's like super niche, but
Okay.
I think it's okay. I think it's
Yeah,
like okay for
I
reroll
haven't seen
sentinels.
it too often ever, so I'm curious if anyone's ever figured it out.
I think it's reroll sentinels, and I think it's actually pretty good in that. Like
Okay.
in like all variations of that, but that's just it.
Slime time. Every 2 seconds, deal 130% of magic damage in a 1 hex radius, and then heal the champion for 100% of the damage dealt.
I mean, I joked about this in a previous episode, I think, being like good on Echo, but I don't even think it is. Uh yeah, I don't know. Like this is just like every 2 seconds, like 130% magic damage is actually like very little, by the way. For like every 2 seconds, it's just not that much damage compared to like the other, like compared to like slow cooker or whatever. And like slow cooker is like whatever too. So I feel like the damage it does is like too low. It's like somewhat balanced by the fact that it gives you some healing, but I there's not really any AP units that can really abuse it that hard. Like I don't know. Like this effect probably could be good on Mordekaiser and Echo, but I just don't think it is right now.
Okay. You probably have to juice up the numbers a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned slow cooker. You think slow cooker is kind of mid, which is actually surprising because I think APAC loves slow cooker. They think it's super good,
Oh, I
assuming
mean,
you have a spot for it.
yeah. I mean, if you have the Exodia like Nunu 3 slow cooker, yeah, it's obviously very good. Like 6 bruiser, some experiments, some like
Yeah,
the pan scaling HP is obviously amazing. But I'm just talking about like
generically.
your average spot.
So the good scenario that Dishsoap's talking about, you get something like cooking pot, you scale, which is like every pan or spatula scales the unit. People just do this and they stack an early bruiser of any kind, really, even if it's set to, and they just scale it and scale it and scale it and then slow cook it. then it just has way too much HP and it just like outscales everything. Very fun actually. I've seen a lot of people play that for a lot of success.
Yep. I think anything outside of Six Bruiser just doesn't have enough HP or like is like too fast to even get use out of this. But it's pretty good in those Bruiser setups for sure. It's like, I mean, it's like insane in those Bruiser setups. It's like the thing you want to see usually.
All right. Stone Skin. Combat star, get 225 armor and MR, and every second reduce the bonus by 10. So you start losing around 23 seconds into the fight.
I think this one and Bulwark are like Bisvi.
Oh,
which is like weird because it's like a tank one. But the thing is, like, I don't know, like it actually makes like Vi like kind of unkillable. Yeah, I don't know. It just makes Vi unkillable, and I feel like that's just like a good thing, I guess. I don't think it's like this on like the other melee carries though, because I guess they just can't really abuse like taking damage that much.
I like it on Echo, actually. I think Echo, assuming you're a very spot for it, because Echo has Firelight and he can kind of heal back some of it and helps you pass multiple times.
Yeah, I definitely have to try that. But I've like taken this on Vi a couple times and it's felt like amazing. It's felt like better than like the ones that are designed to be melees. So like when you're playing Enforcer, like just trust me, click this one or Bulwark, and like you just have like the freest like early stage 5, and you just go fast 9 off of that.
Okay, I like it.
Like I don't know, like it's just insane. I had this on Vi. I was beating some like crazy boards with 6 Enforcer.
Right? So, I've been seeing more and more of that. You know what? That might be, Stone Skin might be part of that. Okay, cool. Strength training. Gain 20 AD. Every 3 times you attack, your team gets 4% AD.
This one's okay on Twitch. I've seen this one like on Draven and Violet reroll as well, but I think it's only good with like double Gensu setups and like early Draven 3. Because like it does buff your whole team. But I do think it's very like pretty good on Twitch if you have like duo carries and stuff. I mean, compared to this one to mini me's, by the way, this one just clears mini me's so hard, man. It's kind of sad.
Mini me's? Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, every three attacks, your whole team gets 4%, and you gain 20% base.
Yeah, it's not even close. I've seen people take this on Mbessa when she has Edge of Night because she gets like a burst of attack speed. So it's like her second cast gives like a lot of AD to the team. I'm not sure if I was convinced because I tried it myself and it felt okay. And I wasn't sure if that was just like when I saw someone take it, I wasn't sure if that's because they just wanted to settle and move on or if it was actually good.
So the thing is that's like it doesn't tell you this anywhere is that when the unit that has this dies, your team loses the bonus. So it's like I think it's like probably not that good on Abessa because of that. Because like it's like not gonna like buff your like Corki and stuff like when it dies because it's gonna die before the Corki. Okay. So like that's why I prefer it on Twitch because like I mean Twitch is always gonna be your last unit alive.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, when the unit dies, you lose the team bonus.
Okay. The finisher. This champion's attacks and abilities executes enemy champions at 15% health or lower.
I don't know. Like this one like looks insane on paper, but then you take it, it's just trash every game. I don't even understand. But like I actually like every week there's like a game where like, oh yeah, I should take the finisher here, and then that same game is the game where I'm like, oh yeah, I shouldn't take finisher, and then I forget about it like a week later, and then I take it again,
and then you do it again.
I just don't think it's very good. Like again, like this is like maybe best on like Twitch because he really does have the problem finishing stuff off. But like, if you're playing an actual unit that like focus fires, I think it's like kind of terrible. Like, I think it's like pretty bad on like Soko units that actually like continue attacking their main target and don't just like swap off for fun.
I was told that this was something that you should view if you're playing a team effort composition because it's kind of like one person can finally deal the finishing blow and you're trying to do like the sum of its parts type of thing. So it's like more about that than like because a lot of people view it as like a hyper carry and it should be more about team effort carry compositions.
Yeah, I think I've literally said that and I just don't think it's good.
Oh, okay, got it. Because I wasn't sure if it was you, but I think Ripple Overdrive told me the same thing. So I guess there's multiple people who also said that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the theory of that makes sense, but then you just click it and you look at it, and it's like, oh, this unit did like 200 true damage.
Yeah.
So, I
Yeah,
don't
fair
know.
enough. Fair enough. Thorn Skin. Gain 60 armor and MR. When damaged, deal 20% of the damage block to adjacent enemies as magic damage.
I does this still work the Blighting Jewel combo? When I'm
It
talking
does.
about
It
okay,
does.
okay. So this is very good with Blighting Jewel. Outside of that, I think it's like a pretty mid tank anomaly. Like sometimes you just take it because like you're like poor and you need a tank anomaly or something, but I think it's like you don't want the extra damage versus the other stuff. With Blighting Jewel though, it like kind of instantly puts the enemy frontline at 0 MR, which is like insane for AP comps. If you get a Blighting Jewel on a frontliner plus Thorn Skin,
Yeah. Mundo
like
and Dominators, for example, or
yeah,
something.
Moon and Dominators is very very good with that.
Yep.
Outside of that though, I think it's just like mid to bad frontline anomaly.
All right. Last set here. Titanic Strikes. Attacks that deal additional 40 AD to the target and adjacent enemies.
I've like clicked this for fun a couple times just to see what it does, and I couldn't really tell. Like I guess it like does the set one item, the I forgot what it's called. It used to be like bow belt.
Hydra. The
Yeah,
Hydra.
Titanic Hydra. I think it does that effect.
Yeah. And wasn't
But
that
also
item
but also
also
it's the main
awful?
target.
Wasn't that item also terrible back then?
Yeah, but the thing is it like only did the adjacent damage. This one like does it to the main target as well. Like I don't know, I'm just not a math guy. Like if this effect is good and someone tells me it's good and they do the math, I'll probably take it. But I took it for fun, and it's like I probably went like third or fourth or something, and then I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And then I haven't really clicked it again. So
Yeah, I've never felt like I've taken it a few times, and I think I've been disappointed by. I felt like I couldn't tell if it was actually doing anything. So
yeah, like honestly, like that's kind of like a lot of these AD anomalies.
yeah,
Like
truthfully, it's
there's like
build.
5 or 6 of them that are like, yeah, I don't know, like this one is maybe good if we know what it did, but we don't really know what it does.
Fair
So
enough.
like we're just waiting for someone to do the math, or
Or show us some tech with it.
yeah, pretty much.
Touch of Frost ability cast 20% chill, reduces attack speed on enemies for 4 seconds. When chilled enemies die, they stun the nearest enemy for 1 second.
So this is one I actually took like very often early in the set, but I ended up like taking it fuck less and less as the set goes on, because it turns out like you kind of just need damage. Like, this effect is good if like somehow you don't need a Frodan anomaly and you already deal enough damage, which is just such a niche spot. Because I mean, when you're in that spot, um,
Yeah, I
I don't know.
agree. I agree. My belief with Touch of Frost is that it was better early set as well because people were worse at building boards. I actually think that part of what Touch of Frost is poor at right now is that it scales really badly against competent lobbies and boards. Especially because like there's been instances where I take it, I'm like, yeah, like surely I don't need it. I'm ahead. I'm playing Rebels. I thought like Touch of Frost, like someone said like Touch of Frost Zoe, they could do work. And I'm like, okay, I can see the theory of that. Um, and then I just didn't kill anything. So like it's just like I 20% chill them, but they're playing 3-star sentinels, man. Like what does it who cares? Like they're just have to cast and they get the shields and it's all good. So yeah, I think Touch of Frost is significantly weaker as people build more, especially in reroll lobbies. It's just you're not activating very often.
Yeah, I mean, like I think the last time I took this was in Six Automata, and I put it on Mal's, but like that's not a real spot. So
Yeah, fair enough.
it was pretty good there because like Six Automata is your frontline, and you don't need a damage from you because
Mm.
all your damage is Automata. So I mean that is like the spot, but it's actually no, I didn't. Okay, I didn't even put it on Mal's. I think I put it on Mel, by the way.
Okay.
Touch of Frost Mel, because it was the war, it was the Victor portal. But
That's cool.
yeah, but the thing is, like, I don't really know if this is doing anything besides, like, it was just the Mel doing the stuff. But
Yeah, fair
yeah,
enough. All right, Ultimate Hero. I don't know if we have to talk about this one too much if people have been following the set. I guess the question would be Are there any one costs that don't want Ultimate Hero? Assuming you're like re-rolling for that one cost, because you obviously wouldn't want to put this on like something that's not important in your composition.
I don't think so. I still think this is like, even with the delay, it doesn't show on the screen now, but there's a 3-turn delay
Three
for
round delay.
this.
Yeah, you get on
Yeah,
5-2. You get on 5-2.
yeah, you get it on 5-2. Even with the delay, I still think it's the best anomaly when you're rerolling one, like 3-star one cost. Like if you look at the stats of like if you like try to look at the Kirogpin stats, like when you sort by 4-star, it's legit like plus like more than a placement every single time.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, like, yeah, it's because you're on like 5-2, but still, I don't know. I still think this is just like the best thing you could take, because it's
It
damage
scales
and
everything. That's the
yeah, yeah.
reason why. Like a lot of times you're thinking about this, like, oh, I'll get more AP, I'll get more HP, I'll get more resistances, and it's like, well, if you just take Ultimate Hero, you scale everything and their ability, and so it's just, yeah, Ultimate Hero is really good for that reason. Unstoppable Force on takedown. Charge the next target and stun them for 1.5 seconds, then heal 10% max HP.
I took this on Urgot reroll, and I don't think I should, because I think I could probably, like, I think the stun was like okay, but not necessary, and I could probably get more effective HP than 10% health on kill. 10% max health on kill. But like you do need to really be taking this on someone with a lot of max HP, and that does damage. So that's kind of limits your options a lot. I don't really know who you take this on besides Urgot, but I don't even think it's beside Urgot.
Yeah. Also, I feel like Urgot dashes a lot already. I'm not sure if that
Oh, I
means
mean he dashes from his spell already, yeah, or from his experiment bonus already. So like the dash is just fake. But
right. So you pick it for the stun charge.
yeah, you take it for the stun plus heal, and I think it's like kind of designed around him, because no other unit has enough max HP to where this is like a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the max HP is just too low for this to be appealing.
So we're not entirely sure why they showed up in our database, but I think the belief is that this might be coming out next patch. So let's go ahead and talk about it just in case. Voracious Appetite. This champion gains 300 HP and 15% damage amp. Each round, gain a consumable that grants 120 health and 1.5 damage amp in exchange for 3 player health. This is Briar's ability from the previous set.
Yeah, I remember like I don't know, like seeing some like Twitter or Reddit post of this, and then like I like this was we were in the hotel in Japan, and like we like all reacted to like these new anomalies. We all were just bitching that they were broken, and I think like Mortdog commented that the numbers were not final, because if the numbers on this one is final, it's just disgusting. By the way, because like you're already getting 300 health, 50% damage on base, which is like very good. Like that's a pretty good anomaly already for like most melee stuff. And then you feed like twice, and then it's like yeah, I don't know. Then it's like 540 HP, 20% amp or whatever, or like 18% 18% amp for 6 HP, and then like this anomaly is probably strong enough that at these numbers that you could just like probably feed like 18 HP or something. Uh, because the thing is, like, you have like the choice to take this when you're high HP.
Right.
Like I don't know. I feel like the numbers they have right now are legit like disgusting. Like they could probably like cut it in half, and you could like Loki take it.
Ghost of Friends Past type of situation. You could cut it in half and still be good.
Yeah, yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right, you heard it here first. Dishsoap has declared it broken. All right, last one. Wolf Familiars. Summon 2 untargetable wolves with 50% of this champion's attack damage and zero point 0.9 attack speed.
Yeah, I believe this is like 80% or something damage now, or I don't know, or some
I think
other
this is
number.
this is correct. I
Oh,
think.
okay, never mind then. But the thing is, this is another one of those like random ass 80 ones that just does a damage proc that no one knows what it does. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, I've taken this before. Did I feel like it did anything? I don't know. Maybe. Uh, that's really all about I have to say with this, because I don't really do the math. And when I took this, it didn't really seem that broken. So
Yeah, and I don't understand if like that means that if it's like damage that's counted as part of the champion's damage. I guess it is. Or is it
It
not?
probably
Like in the
is. It
damage chart,
probably
like I
is.
can't tell if it actually is, so it's hard to really parse that. This is the kind of stuff that I kind of wish stats did exist because we don't
Yeah,
have a tracker
100%.
to figure it out what's going on. So like you can use stats to kind of like decipher whether or not it's actually having an impact. So yeah.
I mean, you just need some guy to do the math. I mean, in theory, this one like doesn't scale with attack speed at all. So you just want to give this. I don't. If the wolves stay around when your unit
When the champion
dies,
dies.
yeah, like like I don't know if that's the case, because if that's like not the case, you could take this on like someone with like silver bear or something, and get like a bunch of some like
Oh.
juiced wolves, because like the attack speed doesn't matter. But otherwise, like
Yeah.
you maybe take this on like some
Silver
like
mirrored
Tristana, like
Camille. Oh
for
yeah, sure,
artillerist
sure.
Tristana with like a million AD setup. But
Okay.
I mean, I've clicked this on Tristana again. I don't really know if it did anything. But that would be the spot to take it, I think.
All right. Noted. All right. And just like that, this is how we did it. Over 3 episodes, we went over all the anomalies. I hope people feel like they really got a good like overview on it, because this is as best as we can kind of describe and dive into it. And I'm sure our understanding will evolve over time about it.
Yep.
All right, let's wrap this up with some Q&A from the fans. So this first one's from Eden. Eden says, hello. One thing I can't seem to figure out is how to turn a lost streak opener into a top 4. I'm great at playing at tempo and playing strongest board for a diamond player. When I simply try to lost streak early, it feels like I can't do anything, which feels like one of my biggest weaknesses as a player. Any advice would be greatly appreciated.
The biggest things people mess up about lost streak is like you have to have a plan to turn the game around. Yeah. Okay, so like okay, the one thing people don't realize about lost streak is that like 5 streak, like Loki doesn't matter. It like the 6th and the 6th streak does matter. So like if you like lose 5 and then you win the next round, or like then you win 3-1 but like lose 3-2 to augment spike, and like then you're just dead, by the way. So like you like Loki need to protect your like 3-1 loss, unless you could like 5 win the rest of the stage, which is like some Hyrule scenario, or like if you've just been like collecting pairs on bench the whole time. So I guess I'll say like don't neglect the streak just after the stage is over, because like a lot of gold can be lost that way that you don't really think about. I don't know. I don't like Lost Streak either. I think Lost Streak just sucks. So
yeah, especially in this meta when Ken Baron's around.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know. I guess I would say like you should probably only be approaching, like if you already feel like you have a bad opener, you should probably be taking a 2-hit augment that synergizes with that, as in like take an econ augment. Because if you have an econ augment, your options like open up a lot. You could hold like a bunch, like even if your shops are like naturally bad, if you have an econ augment and are loose streaking, you can probably just hold most of the shops and like eventually find something like decent on stage 3 at least. But if you like don't have an econ augment, you take some other trash, like you're gonna be like super far behind.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, I guess my suggestions are: make sure you don't take and like a non-lost streak synergistic augment 2-1 if you feel like your opener is bad, and 2, don't neglect like continuing the lost streak after stage 2, because the 5 streak is not the end of it. The max gold is at 6.
Those are good tips. I'm going to add 1 or 2 more. The reason why you lose streak in TFT, losing streaking is not a good thing in general, because HP is what gives you a lot of options, especially in the late stages of the game. But the trade-off is you get better items, and you get higher priority pick on carousels. If you're not converting off of that, usually that means you're not good at your itemization, because you're not. The trade-off is that the person that's win streaking usually has worse items and worse setup, because they're not able to actually get everything they want. The lose streak player should theoretically be able to get closer to that. So chances are your itemization is not really that strong, because then you're supposed to decisively spike. The second is you probably don't understand when your board is stable and understand what are the key units to upgrade and when to stop rolling. And that's what loose streak players really love doing, right? They love piling a lot of goals so that they can roll and hit their board, have the good items, and then stabilize. You aren't recognizing what makes your board stable. And you might be thinking, I hit Silco 2 if you're playing Black Rose, but the reality is maybe your front line wasn't good enough. Or it could be the vice versa thing. You hit like an Mbessa 2, then realize that she doesn't actually deal damage compared to like Corki. And so you have Corki 1, Garen 1, you're still going to lose some of these fights. And when you're in a lose streak situation, you just have less room for error because when you break a streak is important, and also how many lives you have relative to the Chem Baron player, the Nocturne player is like a really, really big deal. So these are a couple of things to keep in mind when you're lose streaking that might help turn your games around. All right, and then the last thing from Power Bjorn: how should I play when I hit a strong emblem in an emblem-dependent composition, but I can't guarantee it? They used Enforcers and Conquerors as example because they start off with like 4 Conquerors, they start off with 4 Enforcers. They feel like it's good for those compositions. How should we play those strong starts there, Dishsoap?
So they're playing without an emblem. Just
Yeah, they have a strong start in an emblem-dependent comp. And they might even feel like they're a little bit too deep into that tree to get out of it. Like, how did they approach those situations?
I mean, for Conqueror specifically, like this is just a very, in my mind, I think the 4 Conqueror opener like pivots very, very well into like a lot of different comps. If you're playing around like backline AP Swain plus like tank on Darius, it just goes into Silco. If you're playing around the Rel plus Sentinel plus 4 Conk plus like 80 items, it goes, or even AP, you can go into Sentinel like Corky Heimer. If you're playing around like Darius, Draven, 4 Conquer, Melee plus like Wardens, it just goes into Emissaries. So like 4 Conquer just goes into like legit all of the lines. So that one's like really easy to pivot out. Enforcer is a bit harder, but you're probably playing around Bruisers plus backline 80 items. So like it's like Twitch is open probably. If you like have like Ginsu or something, or if you don't have Ginsu, you can probably play Emissaries as well. There are some people that play like Vertical Enforcer without Emblem and just play 6 Enforcer. I am not an expert in that, and I am not going to tell you how to play that or if you should play that. But I think that might be a thing. Maybe if you natural enough units? Question mark.
I've seen a couple people try it.
But I would probably just pivot that into like a emissary setup, probably, or a Twitch setup.
Okay, cool. Some tips there from Dishsoap on how to pivot out. All right, man. Just like that, we are done. Another long banger episode to wrap up the year. What are your New Year's plans?
Nothing. I'm gonna play TFT.
Nice. Me too. Awesome.
Great.
All right, great. If you guys,
I'm actually having fun. Like these long ass patches, like are actually pretty fun. And I'm like, I feel like there's not anything that egregious right now. I know people. I mean, I know Chem Baron's pretty egregious, but like, at least he can go second, and Lux is like a 1 unit loss. It's not even that bad. Like, there's no Riot Summer Break like set abuser going around.
Yeah. No gameplay in Cosmic Rhythm. That was pretty bad for a bit, but
yeah, I mean, I'm having fun. This has been one of the better long patches, I think.
Yeah,
even with all the problems.
Well said. Okay, well, on that note, let's go ahead and wrap it up here, shall we? Thank you to everyone who supports TFTAcademy and the show. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe and recommend it to people. If you are listening on Spotify, please give it a thumbs up and a 5-star rating, as well as anywhere else that you might be listening or watching this. And a big thank you to all of our patrons who support us on Patreon. If you haven't heard already, Dishsoap and I are actually giving away a lot of coaching. We know that the beginning of Set 13 was a little bit slow because of Macao and the boot camp and everything like that, and Dishsoap's traveling. So we want to make it up because we want to do some coaching giveaway. So check it out on our Twitter, twitter.com/TFT_Academy. We're giving away 8 sessions, and it's pretty valuable. You know, Dishsoap and I don't really coach publicly, like openly to people offering. So it's pretty valuable in my opinion. So definitely check that out. It's free to enter, and you just have to do one of those giveaways like, retweet, and subscribe. That's about it. So thanks so much for listening. From Frodan and Dishsoap, this has been TFT Study Hall. We'll catch you guys next time for more TFT action.
See ya.